Hello, everybody, and good morning to you. Today, we are going to talk about student loans. And before I get into the topic, this is the first time that I am going live from here. So I want to see if I can share this live out. I don't know if I can, though. Let's see. All right. Nope, I don't think it's gonna work. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on, guys. 1 second. 1 second, 1 second. I think I can do it from my computer so that people can actually join in on this live before we go ahead and get into the topic of your student loans. See, this is why I had to go live on my phone, because my computer today, it's raining, so I don't know if they're having a problem with internet, but it's going very, very slow. All right, let's see if we can share this out so other people can join. Bear with me, guys. We are going to get into some good stuff when it comes to your student loans. All right. Okay, this is taking too long, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Chelsea, and I'm the CEO of Advancity Financial Solutions. And at Advancity, we offer credit repair, tax preparation services, and student loan support services. Now, the funny thing is that all of those services kind of intertwine together, because if you have a student loan issue, that means you have a credit issue, and that means you could potentially have a tax issue as well. Oh, perfect. It just came up. Let me share this out, guys. Credit repair. Oh. Okay. How do I do this? How do I do this? Share via... Oh, no, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. All right, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna work on this as we go through, because again, my computer's moving slow, but student loans, they go hand in hand with your taxes and with your credit, because if you have a student loan issue, chances are you're also going to have an issue with your credit, especially if you have defaulted on your student loans, okay? And what prompted me to educate myself and begin offering student loan support services was because I felt like I was doing a disservice to my credit repair clients. Because the thing is, when I would see their credit reports with student loans in default, in collections, on, sitting there, affecting their credit negatively, the thing with credit repair is, even if we, or I shouldn't say credit repair, but with student loans, even if we can remove those student loans from your credit profile, it would be a disservice if I did not fully disclose to my clients the fact that those student loans will eventually come back to haunt you in many ways, more than just on your credit report. So what I mean is, if you have student loans in collections, eventually the government will take away your tax return or garnish your wages, okay? And when they garnish your wages, it's already too late. It's already nothing that you can do like immediately. And when they garnish your wages, they are going to be choosing how much they're going to take away from you. They don't care how many kids you have. They don't care what your financial situation is. They are going to take away however much money they want out of your paychecks. Okay, and this is before you even see your paychecks. They're gonna bypass you and go straight to your employer, and go ahead and go that route. Okay, so you won't even know until you get your paycheck and you're like, whoa, what happened? Why is my paycheck so small? Okay, it's because they've garnished your wages. So I was doing a disservice to my clients by not being knowledgeable about student loans and credit and how they can negatively affect you. Even if you think, oh, they're removed from my credit report, so I'm good to go, I don't have to worry about them. It is not the case. When it comes to student loans, it's a federal debt. I'm talking about, let me just make it clear from the beginning, This live is in regards to federal student loans. This is not in regards to private loans. That is a completely different topic. But most people have federal student loans, okay? All right. Where was I going with that? Because I have mom brain and I get off track very easily. Let me look at my notes. Okay, so why is it important? Other than your credit report, this topic is important because there are so many people that have student loan debt. Over 42 million Americans have federal student loan debt. And the total amount of debt for each people or for everyone combined is over $1 trillion. That's a lot of money. That's not 1 million billion. That's $1 trillion. That's how much student loan debt is out there, guys. That's how much is out there. And it's the second leading form of debt in the US next to mortgage debt, which should be your number one debt to focus on, because when you graduate college and then you get into your career, you want to go ahead and buy a home. You start to build a family. You want to buy a home, but you can't. People are finding that they can't because instead of paying off a mortgage, they're paying off student loan debt. And they can't even get into a home, which doesn't make any sense at all, because this is the point of going to college, is so that you can better yourself and get, a good job and be able to, afford finer things, right? That's the American dream. That's what is portrayed to us. Yet we have this national crisis where people are in shambles because they can't afford to pay for their student loans. So what do? What do we do? Most people don't know what to do. Okay? And it's not good. And that's why I have decided to create a webinar for people who are having issues with their student loans. Okay, so people who have defaulted on their student loans and they don't know what to do to get their student loans out of default and back on track. This webinar that I've created is also for people who have defaulted and are having their wages garnished, and they don't want to be in that situation anymore because they can't afford we're already living as paycheck to paycheck. Most households are living paycheck to paycheck. So if you can't afford your monthly payments, this webinar is also for you. It's going to teach you how to reduce your monthly payments. Not only that, but your interest rates. Because you see, when you graduate from college, after 6 months, you're expected to start making payments on your student loans again, right? And they will automatically put you in a plan that they see fit for you. So some of you might not even know what that is. When you graduate, like, what plan are you even enrolled under? Because there's some that you're paying a fixed amount every single month. Then you have other types of plans that they automatically enroll you in, where they're assuming that you're climbing the corporate ladder over time. So your monthly payments are going to be more and more as the years go on. Assuming that you have moved up the corporate ladder. So you might find that for 2 years you're paying $50. I'm just throwing out a random number. $50 a month for your student loans, and then 2 years later they change it to $100 because they figure, oh, she's probably not, or he is probably not working in their entry level position anymore. So we can go ahead, they've moved up, they probably got a raise, so we can go ahead and increase their monthly payment. Okay? And that's not always the case, guys. We're not. And I remember when I was in corporate America, I used to work in academia at a college, and my raise was like less than 50 cents a year. So if I've only gotten $1 raise after 2 years, there's no way I can afford to have my student loan payment doubled. That makes no sense, okay? Who else is this webinar for? Okay, so here's the thing with student loans. When you have student loans, for each semester that you were in college, you're going to have a different student loan, okay? And that loan is going to have a different interest rate. So this webinar that I'm releasing on, you can only access the webinar from Thursday to Friday. After Friday, registration is closing for the webinar. So you have about 2 days, less than 48 hours to register for the webinar, okay? So this is also going to be for people who want to decrease their interest rates, because when you have those variable interest rates between each student loan, it doesn't make sense. It makes sense to kind of consolidate those loans, and then that will, reduce your interest rate. So this webinar is going to show you how to do all of that. Okay. If you don't know the status of if you don't even know the status of your credit, you probably don't know the status of your student loans either, or whether or not they're in default. And now is the time to kind of take a look at those things and get those affairs in order. Why? Because right now we're experiencing an economic crisis, okay? Right now, they have suspended all student loan payments. Even for people who were paying and weren't defaulted, they have suspended those, and now you actually have to call in order for them to take your payment. Otherwise, they won't do it. Okay, and not everything that glitters is gold. So some people are like, yeah, well, right now I don't need to worry about my student loans because, it's economic crisis. They're not really even paying attention to things like that. And I want to urge you guys to shift your mindset, because again, all that glitters is not gold. And just because you're not obligated to make your student loan payments, and no interest is you're not accruing interest on those student loans right now, doesn't mean that you should not pay attention to them. If anything, this should be motivation for you to definitely go ahead and take a look at your student loans now, while you're not expected to make payments, while you're not expected to, or be incurring interest on those loans. This is the time to make payments, okay? Because that interest is going to eventually come back. This crisis is going to end. I would rather make payments towards something that is not racking up interest, because that means if you're paying, you're making $100 payments for your student loans, it's going toward the principal. It's not gonna go toward the principal, and then you're not gonna have, let's just say, $80 go toward the balance that you owe, and then $20 goes toward the interest. That whole payment is gonna go toward the student loan. So it makes sense to start paying them right now. It makes sense to start focusing on them right now. I hope this is making sense for you guys. Let me take a look at my notes, because I want to make sure I'm not leaving anything out that I wanted to tell you guys. Okay. Oh, another thing that I want to mention is that, all of us, I think when, in high school, I remember I was the smart kid, right? I was the kid who was on honor roll, distinguished honor roll, and the whole nine, right? So I was expected. My advisor in high school was, it was all about going to a 4-year college and the best college out there. And according to how I did academically in school, right? There was no talk of what makes sense financially. So why are we telling our kids, that, because you get A's and because you get honor roll, you should go to this school. But then the kids that did not do well academically were told that they needed to start at a community college level. Now, back then, being a high schooler, we know how to do is listen to the adult, right? Because they're probably going to advise us properly and give us the proper direction in which we should go. Now that I'm an adult, I think that the way that we structure things, and again, I don't want to change how you guys feel about the whole academia and college and everything, but I actually ended up starting off, this smart kid with distinguished honor roll. I ended up starting off at a community college. And financially, I think that makes so much more sense for our kids, because you're paying less money and you can get a feel for college before you're committed to a 4-year university where you're going to be spending more money and you're more kind of locked in, Community college for me made sense, because most of us kids, we think we have to know what we want to do and what we want to be straight from high school. And that is not the case. I have changed my mind a million times on what I want to do. And I never thought I would be here. I never thought I would be a business owner. So I think starting your children off with the idea that they don't have to go to a 4-year university. They don't have to go to college at all. They can take another route. I think that is okay. And unfortunately, it has been pushed on us and on our children that college is the way to go. That's how you're going to get to the American dream, when most of the people who have gone to college are facing tremendous debt right now. Tremendous debt, and they don't even know how to get themselves out of it. They're going to be paying off a mortgage and student loans for 15 to 30 years. It makes no sense. I think that we need to do better. We need to educate ourselves more. Community college can be a good place to start. Trade school, where you're actually learning a skill. I feel like, like I went to college, and don't get me wrong, I learned a lot being in college, but I learned most of what I know about, how to run my business. And I studied business in college. I learned mostly from the street education. So from other people, or for courses that are not necessarily accredited by a college, where you're not going to walk out with a fancy degree afterward. I learned most of my knowledge from places like that, where they say, oh yeah, but we can't trust that kind of education. It's not, guys, it's not true. It's not true. And you've got to wonder why they make us feel like we've got to have these 4-year universities, and we've got to have these plaques right here. A lot of people that I know are, my husband is an example, somebody who does not have a degree at all, and he makes more money than my old bosses in these companies I was working for, the head of the department and the deans. My husband makes more. He didn't even graduate high school. So anyway, I just wanted to give you guys my 2 cents on that. And that way we can do better for our kids, you know what I mean? Because now we have all this debt, and are we gonna pass along those same kind of things that were taught to us to our kids, or are we gonna do better and know that, hey, they can still go to a 4-year if that's what they want to do, but they have other options. I think we should present those options to our kids, you know what I mean? Instead of saying, you're smart, so you got to do this, okay? So what I want you guys to do, I want you guys to go ahead and continue to follow my page for updates, because on Thursday we are releasing the webinar and the registration link to Student Loan 101. Again, this is going to teach you how to get out of the current situation you're in with your student loans. Not only that, but again, like I said, I offer credit repair and tax prep. Getting your student loans on track is going to be the key to getting your credit on track, as well as your tax situation. Because I have had tax clients who had their whole tax refund snatched away. Okay. Now this year we had COVID, so they came in and said, that's not going to happen. We're not going to do that to you guys. But guys, stay alert and stay woke, because eventually they will start doing all of these things again. I don't know about this upcoming tax season, if they're going to snatch returns or if they're going to let you keep them. I would assume that they're going to let you keep them, since we're still kind of going through this economic crisis, but I don't know for sure yet. So I want to encourage you guys to register for the webinar. You're going to it's a 1-hour webinar, and by the time you are done with the webinar, you are going to know how to get your student loan situation back on track. You're going to know how to lower your monthly payments, your interest rates, get your loans out of default, and clean up your credit also, okay? Because cleaning up your student loans is going to clean up your credit. And if you are one of my credit repair clients and you have this student loan situation, I definitely encourage you to register. Register, guys, because the knowledge the gems I'm dropping in this webinar are, you'll see for yourself, okay? And by the way, when you register, you are automatically going to get the webinar to your email right away to be able to download and view. So you're registering and you're going to get it like 5 minutes later, not even. Okay, guys? So that's it for now. Please go ahead and save somebody's life, like and share this video out to somebody else. Tag somebody in the comments, especially if you know that they have a student loan situation that is holding them back financially. Okay, guys? All right, I will talk to you guys later.